So, Grandma,
What?
we're going to make escarole soup. What do you got here? What are you doing?
Chicken.
All right, how much chicken did you buy?
I bought 2 because I'm going to make the big pot.
A big pot. Two what? How many pounds? Let's look at this.
Breast with the bone.
2 breasts, but you got a lot more than 2. There's 2 packages, so there's really 4 breasts.
Yeah.
All right. And what are you doing to the chicken?
I'm cleaning the skin off. I don't use the skin.
You don't use the skin, so we take all the skin off. All right, we'll come back for step 2 in just a moment with escarole cooking with Grandma. Good.
All right. I don't leave the skin on. I take the skin off. I leave most of the fat on the chicken. Put it in a pot and fill it up. Then you decide on.
And this is a big pot, right? What do you think? 2-3 gallon pot?
Oh, I don't know.
All right, but it's a big pot.
Do you have one?
Yeah, I got a big pot.
As long as you have Put salt in it. Let come to a boil, and you see that there's all filled that has to come out. I'll show you.
All right.
Carrots,
Good, because...
celery, and onions.
All right, now how many carrots are you going to put in there? All those carrots?
I'll see.
Mary, remind me to send away for this, the insulin for you, what do you call
The Novolog.
it? Novolog. That's the one you use at midnight
Yeah.
if you need it. Alright?
So this is the escarole, and we're going to cut off the bottom part down here, just like this. And over here, I've diced up, or cut up 2 onions into quarters. And Grandma is still peeling carrots. Say hello, Grandma.
Hello, Richard. How you doing? You got it cut already. Okay.
Alright, so we cut off the end. And now what are we going to do here, Grandma?
Why are you using such a big knife?
Because I need a big knife, because the other ones aren't sharp. Alright, we're going to use a small knife now.
You got to take some of this white stuff
Oh,
off.
take some of the white stuff off.
Make sure this is all clean.
Alright, and clean off. Alright, I'll rip it, yeah.
And then you cut this up in pieces.
And then cut that up
Yeah,
into
if you
pieces.
see that this is too thick, you cut it. See the way this was cut?
Okay. So no stalks.
No. That's fine. And then you got to cut this down the center. And then I'll show you what to do after that.
Alright, and then I cut them up into small pieces.
Real, yeah.
Alright, cool. Grandma, who taught you how to make this recipe?
My mother. You kidding?
Alright, what are you doing right now?
Right now, I'm making the celery for the soup.
And you shave off the outside so that it doesn't get stringy in the soup?
That's right.
Alright. And over here we're filling a pot with the escarole. After you take that stuff up, you rip it up into tiny pieces. That's not a tiny piece. Here we go. You can see. Like this big. Like the length of a finger. Alright, and you can see we got a whole colander full of goodness over here. Good.
You have to skim all this off.
So this is back over at the chicken pot. It boiled. And we're taking all the fat and
It's not fat, it's scum. I call it scum.
scum. Take all the
Try
scum.
to take as much
Alright,
as
you
can.
washed it before you used it, so you got a little less scum than usual?
Yeah.
Alright. But you leave the bones in there.
Oh yeah, of course. That's what makes the soup. Let me
Alright.
see.
When are we going to put the vegetables in there?
Oh, when I get all the scum out. See, it's coming up.
Okay, so you gotta stir it to get even more scum on the top.
Yeah, so let it boil. Let the scum come to the top. Okay. Oh, it's cut already.
So yeah, Grandma's correcting me here. She's even putting in parts of the stalk now. Just making it smaller pieces. Much smaller pieces. See, we got a nice small piece of stalk compared to the size of my
Yeah,
hand.
see, you gotta crack this.
You can see.
See, you crack that, and then you cut it.
Alright, so she's splitting each leaf in half at the white base. And now I am going to peel 3 regular sized, actually pretty small sized baked potatoes. They just fit right here in my palm.
What makes you say they're baked potatoes?
That's what
Carrots, potatoes, onions, and celery.
all in there.
all chopped up.
Well, no, you put in whole potatoes,
Yeah.
and the onions are still just quartered, but you
Quarter
chopped
back,
the
right,
celery.
Celery.
What'd you do to the carrots? Let me see the
I cut
carrots.
them up.
Let me see how big they
They
are.
gotta be even smaller yet.
All right, and what did you get? You got how many tomatoes in there? One can of
can.
peeled plum tomatoes.
Righto.
Okay, wait. I need to see a
And
carrot.
that makes your soup.
This makes the stock for the soup.
The
All right,
carrots
but we
are in
got
there.
carrots. They're like a half a carrot. All right.
Right. In other words, the whole one cut in half.
And we got just one can of peeled plum tomatoes. 1 second.
Right.
Here's the kind Grandma uses.
Makes no difference which one you use, as long as you use a plum tomato.
All right. Now, Grandma, when does the escarole get in the soup?
After the soup is cooked,
Okay, so we're gonna cook this. How long will it cook?
about an hour at least.
All right. So now we're gonna go sit down in the other room.
That's right.
All right.
I'll put the pot on for the
This is what the soup looks like after cooking for 3 hours. In here we got the chicken, carrots, potatoes, celery, tomatoes, and look at that beautiful thick stock. Well, I think she must have put oil in here too. I gotta find out. Alright, but here's what's going on in here. I think she's been secretly hiding things in here. There's the chicken coming up. A lot of goodness in here. 3 hours it's been on the stove.
Why?
You gotta talk about what's in the soup.
Oh, the fat from the chicken.
Alright, so there's no oil in there.
No oil.
Did you put any seasoning in there?
No, just, oh yeah,
You're
salt
gonna leave that on in
and
there,
garlic.
right?
Salt and garlic. Did you put in whole cloves of garlic?
No,
You gonna
just
show
garlic
it to-
powder.
Garlic
Gonna
powder.
show it to Richie?
So we've now boiled the escarole. It took about 20 minutes to get the 2 heads boiled down, so it's very soft and the pieces sort of fall apart as you touch them. You can see they just are very smooth and light. The greens are very dark and it was easy to tear apart with just my fingers. It tastes delicious. And now we're going to squeeze all the water out of it and put it back in the giant pot of stock that's over here. Sorry, I'm licking my fingers. Alright. And that's just the extra chicken on the top. So we're going to put that in there in just a second.
Whole pieces.
Alright, so here's the chicken. We just took the chicken out of the stock pot. And now I'm bringing the chicken over to Grandma. Here we go. She's going to sit down with it. Now, Grandma, what are you going to do with this chicken?
We're gonna take the bones out, so we don't have to play around with bones in the soup.
Alright.
Those bones.
Alright, and then how big are the pieces that we're going to put in the soup?
You don't even have to, if you want to leave it the way it is, you could.
Yeah?
This way everybody gets a big piece of chicken.
Alright, or could you cut it down into little pieces if you
You
wanted?
could if you want to, yeah.
Alright, now all those big vegetables in the pot, what are we going to do with them?
You've got to cut them up. You can't leave them like that.
Alright, so I'm going to take all the vegetables out of there. Now, is this the soup that you were teaching Mom as she strained the soup and put the soup right down the drain? Do you remember you told me that story one time? How one time Mom put the soup through the colander and put all the actual soup down the drain?
How the hell did you do that?
You told me this story when she was a kid. No? Alright, well, maybe it wasn't this soup. Alright, so you're just going to keep working on the chicken, and I'm going to cut up all of the vegetables, which we can see they're very soft, but there are whole vegetables in here that we're going to cut down. Potatoes, carrots, onions, tomatoes, everything. Alright, here we go. We're going to chop that up. Alright, so now Grandma, we chopped up some of the vegetables,
Yeah.
about half of them, maybe 2/3, and put them in here with the escarole and the shredded pieces of chicken from the original soup. Now what's over here?
This is a soup with the chicken.
Alright, so there's no escarole in here.
No.
No, and we just brought over some of the stock and put it in this pot. Alright, now what else do we have to do to make this the escarole soup that we love?
Put the cheese in.
We gotta put the cheese in. We're gonna get the lucatelli and we're gonna chop it up and put it in there. Alright, that's good.
That's plenty.
So now I've added on the cheese Now you got to use the Lucatelli, and you can see in here how big those are compared to the size of my fingers. They're very small, about the size of eraser tips, and you just spread all of the cheese over the top of the soup. All right, and then we're going to heat it up again.